Okay guys, well, for the 10th time this month, I have had to switch up my video for the week because of some insane news or insane event that has occurred. And this one is crazy. The waiting is finally over. The truth is out. It's finally here. Real proof of aliens have just surfaced the internet from Mexico.
Alleged evidence of aliens being presented in Mexico. 2 bodies in caskets revealed during the proceedings.
I told you guys it was gonna happen, and whether you think it's fake or just a distraction to distract you from something else, regardless, it's here. The proof is here. So here's the photo of the actual aliens. As you could see, they look exactly how we thought they did, how we see them in movies and stuff like that. These photos came to us last night when Mexico held a surprise broadcast telling us that they have alien bodies in their possession. Now let's get into some details. How did they find these 2 alien bodies? Well, it said that the bodies were covered by a very thick layer of photoplankton. And when the photoplankton dissolved, they were able to find the bodies. Now, who found these bodies? His name is Jaime Maussan, and he's a UFOologist. Some call him the alien hunter. He claims that the bodies are over 1,000 years old, and one of them even has eggs inside of it. Here's a photo. Now, obviously, my first thought right when I saw these is that these have to be fake in some way. That's just my toxic way of thinking. So I did a lot of research. A lot of the research was about Jaime. You see, in 2017, Jaime found something very similar. 3-fingered mummified bodies in Peru that are also over 1,000 years old. He said that they were non-human, but later on when experts investigated it, they deemed it to be human bodies. Now, why should we believe him now? Well, this man is obviously very, very smart. His whole life goal is to find non-human remains. He used to be known as a looter. A looter is somebody who goes to ancient territory and robs tombs before archaeologists are able to extract them. Looting is now illegal, so Jaime put his work elsewhere. He started looking in other places still in Peru, just not at the ancient tombs. That's where he stumbled across these 2 little guys right here. Now, when he sent these in for testing in Mexico, everybody was skeptical. The scientists, the forensics experts, they were all skeptical because they knew about Jaime's old trick. But everybody's thoughts quickly changed after seeing these x-rays of the bodies. Now, the creepiest thing to me is just how tiny the bodies are. And believe it or not, this is not the first time that we heard that aliens are small. Bob Lazar, an American businessman and conspiracy theorist who claims he was hired in the late 1980s to reverse engineer alien technology. He worked in Area 51, which is one of the most widely known but secretive alien operations in the world. Now, you gotta listen to what Bob said because it blew my mind. Bob said that the employees that worked at Area 51 would refer to UFO pilots as the kids. This is because the bodies were supposedly kid-sized. They also said that the seats and control panels inside of the UFOs looked like children's toys. Just imagine these little creatures flying around in technology that we don't even know about yet and coming to our Earth and us finding them. Now, Mexico revealed the news, but this does not mean that the bodies weren't investigated anywhere else. Like I said, these bodies have had some extensive research done on them. And to prove that, the aliens have been to universities in the US, Canada, Russia, and much more. The founders of the bodies grant access to anybody who wants to do tests on them or investigate it at all. Any research committee that wants a part of it, they're in. And so far, everybody that has investigated these bodies have deemed it to be 100% proof of non-human life. 9 of the country's greatest forensic specialists did exhaustive research on these bodies and came to the conclusion that they were indeed real non-human bodies. Now, this next thing I'm about to tell you is badass as hell. The 9 specialists are planning on teaming up with some of the world's smartest archaeologists and the most prestigious space conspiracy theorists, as well as NASA, to not only find out more about the bodies, but literally find out where they came from. So this all happened around 2 a.m. last night for me. My boy Ray called me. He's like, bro, you gotta see this. It's crazy. And right when I looked at it, I was kind of freaking out. I told Leslie, look, this is crazy. Leslie like woke up in the middle of the night. She has work the next morning, and I'm just over here freaking out about aliens that could or could not be real. I'm just excited to be making this video right now because I never thought we would actually be in this moment for another like 2 years. And right when I heard the news, I knew right away I got to make a video on this because you got to think about how insane this news is. This is some of the biggest news we've had on Earth. Like yesterday, September 12th of 2023, history was made. And one of the biggest parts of history, something that's been investigated for hundreds of years, is now true with proof, photos of alien bodies. Just imagine the new generation of kids are going to grow up in a time where proof of aliens have always been a thing. And we're going to tell those kids like, we used to look for aliens. 90% of the world did not believe in aliens. Now, I found two main concerns from people that don't believe it, and I just find it stupid and annoying to hear at this point. The first one being obviously that this is just a distraction to distract us from something else. But I've said this before, we're not stupid. Like, okay, this alien stuff just came out. Let's say tomorrow gas prices raised by like $20. We're gonna notice that. Or taxes go up. We're not dumb. We're not just gonna be like, oh, taxes went up, but dude, this alien stuff, like, no one's gonna do that. We focus on what's happening in the moment. We're not just like dogs where someone just wave a bone at us and we're like, ooh, bone. You know what I mean? Like, we're not dumb. And I'm pretty sure the government knows that they can't pull something like that on us. And the second thing is the people that say they look too similar to the way that they are in movies, and for that reason, I don't really believe that these are real aliens. I'm gonna say this again. I've said it in previous videos. I'm gonna say it again. Movies are not just made with an imagination of aliens. Movies are made at the most accurate depiction of a real alien, what it would look like. They go to experts, people that study this stuff. Mathematically, morally, this is how the aliens are supposed to look. So why is it so shocking and unbelievable that we got it right? Now, I also read one thing that I really hope is not true. Ryan Graves, executive director of America's Safe Aerospace Organization and former U.S. Navy pilot, was in attendance for the body reveal in Mexico. And under oath, he said this: the UFOs pose a threat to America's national security. Now, I did as much research on this as I can. This specific sentence. What would happen if aliens invaded? Do we fight? Do we not fight? And what I found was so worrying. The experts or the higher ups have a safety precautions when it comes to aliens invading Earth. They say that if aliens decide to come to Earth, we have to submit to them. This is an actual rule that was put in place to save the human race. The reason for this is because if aliens show up, it means that they can travel at the speed of light, something that we're not even close to figuring out yet. And they've most likely been doing it for hundreds of thousands of years. And that's not to mention the technology that it would take to know which planet has civilization without actually going to it, because there's trillions of planets, and if you have to go to each one and see if there's people living there, that would be kind of dumb. So they obviously could see planets from where they are. Planets light years away can see us. Unbelievable to me. So yeah, if they came to our Earth, they know how to travel at the speed of light, and they have the technology to destroy us the same way, and this is a quote from a UAP investigator, they will destroy us the same way that we spray Raid on ants in our kitchen. If aliens come, we are told to obey their rules and only fight as a last resort. Because if we picked a fight with those aliens, we would be destroyed in the matter of seconds. Now, if aliens were here thousands of years ago, why haven't they came back? Why haven't they interacted with us? Well, I'm going to tell you something that might make you look at the human race a little differently. The universe is expanding every millisecond. We're basically living in a giant explosion. That's the scientific explanation of how the world was created, or how the universe was created. Now, Earth was created 9.2 billion years after the Big Bang happened. I've only been alive from 1999 to 2023, but in my life, I've seen just how fast things can change change through the inventions of cell phones, computers, cameras, VR, AI, pretty much anything you could think of. All that was invented so fast. Now, one day, if I pass away, the world's going to continue growing for hundreds of thousands of years. So imagine the technology that we're going to have in hundreds of thousands of years from now. Now, think about the planets that were created in the early Big Bang Theory. They have been around for billions and billions of years longer than us. They most likely are in contact with each other. To them, we are a new civilization. We are a new planet. I know we've been around for a while, but to them, we're new. They are billions of years ahead of us in technology. They probably knew how to fly at the speed of light before we even had a planet to live on. So if they have not came back yet, it means that there's just nothing to gain from us. They might have came here 1,000 years ago just maybe to see where we're at, or just a simple discovery. I don't know. I have a pea-sized brain compared to these aliens, but regardless, it's equally as terrifying. So that's why we have to surrender to aliens that come to Earth, if they come to Earth. Me personally, I'm gonna kick this little 3 planets away, bro. You see how small this guy is? I imagine the weapons are tiny too. Like, what are they gonna do? Nah, in all seriousness though, NASA is planning on revealing more information about this tomorrow. Okay guys, I have some very unfortunate news. So I just finished editing this whole video and I was just so excited about everything that I had found and all the new information. But now there's new information out that I just found that just debunks like everything that we had just talked about. So let me tell you guys that real quick. It's not 100%, but it's pretty flat. So like I said, Jaime had done something like this in the past. He said that he had found old, ancient, mummified non-human bodies. I just found out that those bodies that he found were tested and found out to be dolls. Porcelain dolls, and that he's known in Mexico as a hoax. He's a hoaxer. He just like fakes things, right? And so when these new things came out, everybody thought it was fake, and then they thought it was real because of the testing and all that stuff. But it turns out that these bodies are not new. They were actually tested 2 years ago, where a group of scientists actually deemed them to be fake. The head, even though it looks very real, is the same head of a llama, just turned backwards. The arms and legs are human parts, but just moved around. And scientifically, this being wouldn't even be able to walk if its bones were actually shaped like that. The fingers are on backwards. So it looks like it's just human parts and animal parts, just a mixture of both to make it look like an alien. Now, why would Mexico display this or whatever? The truth is, Mexico did not put out this information. They just gave him the platform to speak on, where he said that this is real and blah, blah, blah. And it just all turned out to be phony. So here's what I'm going to say. This isn't 100% false. This is all speculation from other scientists. But this man is also a sort of scientist. He's a UFOologist, also a journalist. The thing is, NASA was able to get their hands on these bodies, and they were able to run tests, and we don't know what the tests are going to say until tomorrow, where that's going to be like 100%. I will believe what NASA says. If NASA says, no, these are fake, and they display the right amount of evidence, then I'll be like, they're fake. But if NASA's like, yo, we know what this guy did in the past, this is not that, it's possible that other aliens had our type of bones, that would be interesting. But I'm like 50-50 on it now. But my main thing is I gotta come on here and tell you guys exactly what's going on, 100% truth, and that's what I'm doing. I think it just doesn't make sense, because all the information coming out revolving the photos of the aliens and stuff just seemed so legit and real, and so many different universities and experts were involved in the testing of these aliens that makes me think it's more to it than just an alpaca skull. Like, yeah, it could look like one, but what if it's not? I mean, people tested it. They had to have had the theory of this is an animal skull. What animal skull does it match? And then realized, okay, maybe this isn't an animal skull. There has to be some stuff that we don't know that made this whole theory come this far to where now we're all seeing it and we're all freaking out over it. But the only way we're gonna know for sure, again, is tomorrow, the NASA hearing, and I am just setting my alarm clock. Baby, you said 10 a.m., right? 10 a.m. We're going to hear all about it. So yeah, if other information comes out, I will be making a video on it. And if they just say that it's fake, then. But with that being said, if you guys did enjoy this video, leave a like. Please leave that like. It just takes 1 second, and it actually takes less than a second to click subscribe. Also, let me know in the comments down below if you guys think that these are real aliens or if they're fake aliens. I'm curious as to what you guys think. But anyways, it's been your boy Sherm, and I'm out. Peace.